Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in this video we are going to discuss about the Inside Delhi current affairs of the 16th September 2021. So let's start. So these are some files are there. So let's start this. So GS2, Delhi High Court observation on the right to forgotten Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That's a very crucial matter in the Indian history. These are some topics also. So first we'll discuss about this. So Indian Constitution historically underpinning the evolutions, features, amendments. Last week, Delhi High Court upheld the view that the right to privacy include the right to be forgotten and right to be left alone. The court said that this is an order passed in response to a suit filed by the unnamed Bengali actor. Right, recently a court case is filed by a Bengali actor related to the right to be forgotten. So what is the background of this? Earlier in July, Ashutosh Kaushik, who on the reality TV shows Big Boss in the 2008 and MTV Roadies, approached the Delhi High Court with the plea saying that his videos, photographs and articles be removed from the internet, citing the right to be forgotten. So what is right to be forgotten in the Indian concept? So right to be forgotten falls under the preview of the all individuals' right to privacy, which is governed by the Personal Data Protection Bill that is yet to be passed by the Parliament. So it's a right to forgotten falls on the preview of the individual right to privacy, which is governed by the Personal Data Protection Bill, is yet to be passed by the Parliament. So recently, the Personal Data Protection Bill was proposed by the Parliament in the July session. In the 2017, the right to privacy was declared a fundamental right by the Supreme Court in its landmark verdict, Puttaswamy case. Yeah, there's a brief history about this. The court said at the time, right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and the personal liberty under the Article 21 as a part of the freedom guaranteed by the Part 3 of Constitution. What does the Personal Data Protection Bill says about this? Right to privacy is also governed by the Personal Data Protection Bill that is yet to be passed by the Parliament. The bill exclusively talks about the right to be forgotten. Broadly under the right to be forgotten, users can delink, limit and delete, correct the disclosure of personal information held by the data fiduciaries. Under the right to be forgotten, user can delink, limit and correct the disclosure of the personal information held by the data fiduciaries. Broadly, what are the issues associated with the provision bill? The main issue with the provision is that sensitivity of the personal data and information cannot be determined independently by the person concerned, but will be overseen by the Data Protection Authority. This means while draft bill gives us some provision under which a user can seek that his data be removed, but his or her rights are subject to authorization by the existing officials who work for the DPA. So that is a good thing also for the democracy, because we are living in a democratic country and everyone has the right to protect their data. So that is for a good step for the democracy. Next one is right to be forgotten, right to privacy, and highlights the personal data bill. So next is POK. Let's make the notes of this side by side. I'll share these notes with you. So let's start. Next one is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. It's a very crucial matter in the Indian history. Like the hundreds of the protesters recently took to the streets of the Palandri region in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, demanding the independence from the Pakistani clutches. What's the issue? accusing the Islamabad of giving the second-class citizen treatment to them for the past 7 decades. The protesters said that their rights were trampled, and additionally, the country's administration is also accused of exploiting the citizens politically and economically. Additionally, country's administration is also accused of exploiting the citizens politically. So, what is the present position of POK? POK is called Azad Jammu Kashmir, in short. It came into being after the 1949 ceasefire between the India and Pakistan. It comprised the parts of the erstwhile states of the Jammu and Kashmir that were occupied by Pakistani forces. Pakistan's constitutional position on the POK. It is not a part of the country, but the liberated part of Kashmir. However, the Article 257 of the Pakistan's constitution said that when the people of the states of Jammu and Kashmir decide to accede to Pakistan, the relationship between Pakistan and states shall remain in accordance with the wishes of the peoples of that state. So, what's the political structure and how it's administrated? So, Constitution of Pakistan lists the country's 4 provinces: Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, and the Khyber. For all practical purpose, POK is run by the Pakistani government through the all-powerful Kashmir Councils, a nominated 40 members headed by the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Assembly has a 5-year terms, and legislators are elected in Pakistan and the president for the territory. POK is ostensibly an autonomous self-governing territory, and the Pakistan Army is the final arbiter on all matters of Kashmir. India stand on Pak. The fact that the POK is an integral part of the India has been constitutional policy zero. India has also made it clear to the world that an issue related to the Pak is an internal matter of India. Please note that the Pakistan occupied Kashmir is a part of the newly created Union Territory of the Jammu and Kashmir, while the Balochistan is a UT of the Ladakh in the fresh map released by the government. So this is a glimpse of the map. Here this is the Ladakh, this is the Gilgistan, this is the Aksai chain. So do you know there are 12 seats of refugees in the Pak elections? Do you know about that? And these are links for the prelims and mains. So discuss why the POK is significant for India. This is the mains link. Just we make the notes side by side of this. Don't I'll share these notes with you, guys. So we have the full part. Next one is WHO pre-qualification for the emergency use listings. Important international institutions, agencies, and the structure mandate. The World Health Organizations may take decisions on granting the emergency use listing to the Bharat Biotech's Covaxin list. The vaccine should get the international recognition. With this, post-approval people wanting to travel abroad will have no difficulty. WHO's pre-qualification for the emergency use listing is necessary for vaccine companies to supply the vaccines to global facilities such as COVAX and international procurement. 8 vaccines have got the EUL from the WHO, and who was taken decisions on the including the Bharat Biotech's Covaxin in this list shortly. WHO's emergency use listing procedures is a risk-based procedure for assessing and listing the unlicensed vaccines. Aim of expediting the availability of these products to the people affected by the public health emergencies. To be eligible, the following criteria must be met. The diseases for which the product is intended is serious. This would be for the serious disease. Existing products have been successfully erecting the diseases. The product in manufacturing compliance with the current good manufacturing practices, and the applicant undertake to control the development of the products. So this is a WHO phenomena. WHO use listing procedures. So this is something, write a note of WHO's EUL. So this is our point. Sorry, this is our point. This is something like that. Next is GS3, National Engineers Day. Every year on the September 15th, India along with Sri Lanka and Tanzania celebrate the National Engineer Day to recognize the honors and achievement of the great engineer Moksadam Vishwavarya. So this is important for prelims. So this is important for pre. So let's do this. Day is observed to commemorate the great work of the engineers and encourage them to improvement in innovations. This year marked the 160th birthday anniversary of M. Vishwavarya, who was born on the 15th September 1861 in the Meduvali village of Karnataka. About the Sir, an expert in the irrigation technique, flood disaster management, Sir M. V. was not just a civil engineer, but also taught the 19 demands on the Mysore. Like I think there's a movie on this, Linga, that the hero cast is Rajnikant, Linga. While serving as a Diwan of the Mysore, he was awarded the Knight as a commander of the British Indian Army by the King George. Key contributions: patented and installed an irrigation system with the water floodgates at the Kadvasala reservoir near the Pune to raise the food supply level and storage of the highest level as a block system in the 1903. The same system was installed in Gwalior's Tigra Dam and the Mysore's Krishnanandan Sagar Dam. He played an important role in foundation of Government Engineering College at the Bangalore in 1917. College was named after him university. He is one of the designer planned for the road construction between Tirumala and Tirupati. He played a key role in developing the systems to protect the Visakhapatnam port. Legacy: for his contribution to the building in India, the government awarded him the highest honor, Bharat Ratna. In the 18, Google launched a doodle on his birthday to celebrate his genius work, whose endeavor led to Tata Steel engineers invent an armored vehicle that used in the WW1 and the WW2 and the could withstand bullets. Books written by him: Reconstruction India and the Planned Economy of India. Next one is Gaganyaan. Australia will support the India's Gaganyaan mission by tracking through the Cuckoo's killing Iceland. There are the blind spots due to which there is a possibility of not receiving the signals. Sources said the data relay satellite tracking from the Cuckoo killing Iceland is expected to help address these issues. Need for: satellite in the orbit cannot pass along the information to the ground stations on the Earth. It does not have a clear view of the ground stations. The data relay satellite serves as a way to pass along the satellite's information. When it is announced, formal announcement of the Gaganyaan program was made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during the Independence Day on the 15th August 2018, and initial target was to launch the human space flight before the 75th anniversary of India's independence on the 15th August 2002. Objective is to program the domestic capability to send the humans to low Earth orbit on the board, and India launch vehicles bring them back to Earth safety. Preparation launch: 4 Indian astronauts candidates have already undergone the generic space flights training in Russia as a part of Gaganyaan program. ISRO's Heavy Lift Launcher GSLV Mk3 has identified for the mission. Relevance of the manned space for India. Boost industries. Indian industries find a large opportunity through the participation in wholly demanding space missions. Indian mission expected to source nearly 50-60% equipment from the Indian private sector. According to the ISRO chief, Indian missions would create the 1,500 employment opportunities. It thus the significant research in the areas such as material processing, astrobiology, resource mining, planetary chemistry, etc. Human space flights will provide the inspiration to the youth and also the national upstreams. So why is the significant relevance of the manned space preparation and launch objective when it's announced need for significance? So there's a significance of this. So this is the significance. So here's the question. This is the question. So this one is the question. Okay, next the scheduled tribes and other traditional posts. Let's just something. This is for the projects. The scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers. Recognition of the Rights Act. Conservation related issues. Individual and community rights certificates were recently handed over to the beneficiary of the Gujar Bakarwal in the Gaddi CP communities in Jammu and Kashmir. The Act is being implemented from the December 1, 2020. Before the 2019, central laws were not implemented in Sharina. The Act passed in 2006 granted the legal recognition the right of traditional forest dwelling communities. So right under this Act, ownership to land that is framed by the tribals and the forest dwellers on 13 December 2005, subject to maximum 4 hectares. Ownership is only for the land that is actually being cultivated by the farmer families. Next one is facts of prevalence. Hindi Divas. Every year, 14 September is celebrated on Hindi Divas in India, aimed to increase the awareness of our language and commemorate Hindi written in the Devanagari scripts as obtained official language of the Republic. 14 September is the one of the 22 scheduled languages of the Republic. Besides the Hindi and English official language of the article, Hindi English is the other official language of the 34. Hindi is also an 8th scheduled language in Article 240 351 Patent to Development of Hindi. So this is something important. So this is something important for Hindi viewers. Hindi viewers. Exercise Peaceful Missions. Joint Counter-Terrorism Exercise Peaceful Mission is a multilateral exercise which is conducted by NML as part of the military diplomacy between the Shanghai Cooperation Organizations. The 6th edition of the Exercise Peaceful Mission hosted by Russia on the regions of the Southwest Russia. The aim to exercise the foster close relation between SCO members. So this is something. Yeah. This is also our today's video. Let's meet at the next video.